Hey, how you doing, guys? Um, I was gonna remove the Journey through the Psalms title from this one, but I was thinking, no, this is perfect. This is a perfect uh video to do for Journey through the Psalms. On Thursday, I was off from work, and I don't know what happened. I just started to grieve, and what I was grieving about was the last 3 years. And I just was thinking about my previous relationship I was with, my ex, and everything that happened back then, and what happened with the church, and things I did, and things I said, regrets I had, regrets I still have, things I talked about in this Bible study series. And I just started to grieve. And so I reached out to my ex through email, and and then I reached out to her pastor when I had a conflict with her pastor. I called the church, and the pastor answered. I was like, "Can I talk to you in person?" Long story short, ended up reconciling with the pastor. Then today I went to the church, and the door opened, and you know, I went and reconciled with my ex-girlfriend's dad. And but yeah, I don't know what happened. I let everything go, and then all of a sudden on Thursday I just started to grieve. And I'm still dealing with it. The last video I did, I talked about how this is the week everything started. This is the week everything happened when God called me to Wisconsin, and the same week that we broke up. And so, yeah, today in the church though, they were in the book of Psalms. The pastor did, he spoke on Psalms 22, and it's about Jesus on the cross, but I felt like it was about me. That's how I felt the whole time as he was reading this. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from me? Why are you so far from saving me? From the words of my groaning. Oh my God, I cry out day by day, but you do not answer, and by night, but I find no rest. This is talking about Jesus when he was on the cross. This is a prophetic psalm. The entire thing is about Jesus himself on the cross. And as the pastor was reading this passage, man, I found myself in the middle of it. Felt like God has forsaken me. I went 40 hours and I did not sleep. 40 hours and I did not sleep. I was up the entire night from Saturday morning until, no, Friday morning until like Saturday around 5 o'clock. I couldn't sleep at all because I had all these things going through my mind. And I'm still like, with all these things in my mind. And I'm just like asking God to give me rest and give me peace and give me comfort and give me joy. This is how I know I'm called to be a preacher. Because every time I take a break like I did with the last couple of weeks. Every time I take a break from preaching the Bible, I end up in these like seasons in my life where I'm just like grieving. And it's different things. Like last time it was like I was grieving over people going to hell. This time I'm grieving over mistakes I made years ago. But long story short, I went and I reconciled with that pastor of the church and with my ex-girlfriend's dad and kinda with my ex-girlfriend through messages. And I mean it this time. I held on to so much anger and hate and bitterness for years. And I kept saying, "Oh, I forgive them," but this time I really do. And I feel like the journey to the Psalms is full of these psalmists that they go into these seasons, kind of like the season I'm in, and they're grieved and they're wondering where God is at in the midst of hardships and suffering and sometimes circumstances that they put themselves in. But God is still faithful, and we have this assurance that God will not forsake His people. And I have to remind myself of this truth that God is not going to forget about us. He's not just going to let us go and say, "I'm done with you." Remember the last message I preached, it was about His steadfast love, how it endures forever. 25 times. Psalms 136 talks about the steadfast love of God enduring forever. Not for a season, forever. Not just for a lifetime, forever. Not just for one generation, forever. God's steadfast love endures forever. We can have that confidence and the assurance even when we mess up in life. So I just wanted to come do a video and let y'all know why I haven't been doing a video. What happened to Pastor Keith? What happened to Keith? What happened to Preacher Keith? He just kind of like went cold turkey. I did not go cold turkey. I was working 3 weeks straight every single day in Chicago. That was something else. And then I came back, and this week I just kind of like been trying to get my energy back. And then Thursday came, and I just like fell into some kind of like deep depression, grieving, all this like regrets from my past just coming back to me. And I didn't know what else to do than to go and reconcile with some people that I have chosen to build a wall up between me and them. So, with that being said, um, God bless you and have a great day.